Just go through a few slides here before Robert gets into the heart of his presentation. So, general disclosure, all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. And the risk disclosure, trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Next slide, Robert. Okay, and for those of you who have not verified, do so. Come over to our Discord channel, and we've got a really great community over here. Robert's over here in the special events room right now presenting. You can ask questions right in there. You can interact. You get access to a lot of other resources. It's better over on our Discord. Next slide. And so as you can see in the events here for the Pro Trader webinar, this is the second today. Later today we have, this is the second event. Later today though, we have Frank at 1 p.m. And then you can see the schedule here for Tuesday, December 2nd, Austin Silver, Options Millionaire, Mossy Trades, and AB Legend wraps it up on Friday. So we've got a great schedule here. Next slide, Robert. And then I've got to go through, it's Black Friday. We have all of these great sales going on. We just added another one today. So you can see Global Plus for the quarter, 50% off. You can also get 50% off the data also for 3 months. So if you want to take advantage of this, you can go just to bookmap.com and you'll see all of these links available there. Next slide is the Cyber Monday. Okay, this is Global Plus monthly plus 1 month of data. Okay, and this is good for the month. Well, you know, it starts December 1st through the 31st. So if you haven't tried Bookmap, this is 60% off. If you haven't tried Bookmap, this is the time. Okay, people ask for deals and discounts and stuff. This is the time, and go for it. Try it out, see if you like it. Next slide, Robert. So this is something new that we are now doing is 50% off the add-ons as well. So you can go and find the links for more information about how this works. It is from all our add-ons on the Bookmap marketplace. Starts today and it ends end of the month. Okay, so some really great deals here if you want to take advantage of them. The next slide, Robert. And finally, we get to Robert Rother. Robert, I will let you go through your introduction here. And please take it away. We're really happy to have you.
Yeah, welcome to our Pro webinar series. And yeah, as you could see, sometimes I get PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome, because I spent 7 years and 7 months in a Chinese detention center and prison for outsmarting the Chinese finance system. That was in May 2011 until December 2018. And sometimes there's a trigger coming, yeah, and then my hands are starting to shaking, but then I have to do some breathing techniques, and it's getting better. So this is why it was a little bit slower at the beginning. But I can tell you more about my story also during the webinar. My career as a trader started 30 years ago. I was 13 when I bought my first stocks in Germany. And a couple of years later, actually at the age of 17, 2 traders came to me and asked me if I want to join their investment firm, because it was actually the transition from the floor trading to the online trading, as most of you know. And I was beginning with online trading here, and so they looked for someone like me to join their company, and they were actually teaching me the foundation of hedge fund management, private equity, managed accounts, and so on. I sold my shares in that company 3 years later, and I took a time out. And then I always wanted to leave Germany, and I went to China in 2004, where I set up my Chinese investment firm with a Chinese partner together. At peak times, I managed over $150 million. I had a team of 30 traders and analysts in my company. I was trading the Hang Seng Index, Chinese stocks, Hong Kong stocks at that time. Yeah, and well, when you are quite successful in China and you build up a certain niche business, you get into trouble with the Chinese government, and that was in April, May 2011. My best trading day was during the subprime crisis 2008, where I made over $800,000 in one day by trading forex exchanges. There was a certain period where the Chinese government basically blocked the forex transfers in and out of China. And that was a time where we made a lot of money. And over the next year, my company basically exploded from $1 million to over 100 million. I'm also a best-selling author in Germany. The book is called Dragon Years, translated, or Drachenjahre, where I explain or tell you about my life in China. Right now, I'm running two communities, one in German and one in English, and focusing on prop firm trading. I started actually this journey 1.5 years ago with Apex, and after 4 months, I got my probation status from Apex. And yeah, managing my prop firms with them and also with some other prop firm companies. And this is what I'm also teaching twice a week in German and English on Bookmap live streams, where you can see me trade live. Otherwise, if you want to know more, just Google my name, Robert Rother, and you will find a lot of information about my life in German and also in English language, what I did and what I'm still going to do. Yeah, Bruce, then we can continue.
I would just like to add as well, Robert, I'll put the link into the chat, but Robert just completed a educational course. It's great. You should check it out. It's free. It's on our Bookmap hub of education
Learning
at
Center,
the Learning Center. I'll put that link into the chat for you guys to check out. So some really interesting things in there.
Yeah, then we can continue.
Yeah, kick it off, Robert.
Okay. Click. Yeah, basically let me tell you something about VWAP, or volume weighted average price. What is this? I will show you practical examples here. I hope that we can get some good trading opportunities. I'm trading live every day in our community, so there is no storytelling and you can follow me. Why VWAP? VWAP is not an indicator, it's a benchmark. When I had my investment firm in China, we needed a certain reference price. For example, if we wanted to buy a stock, but this stock had only a trading volume of 10,000 shares, but in our company we wanted to buy like 100,000 shares. Then I cannot just go and click buy market, because then the price would run through the order book and price would explode. So we have to split our orders during the day over many hours or even about many weeks to get our full order size. But during that time, the market is also moving. And then our traders, their job was simply to get fair executions for us. And if we wanted to go long in a stock and the VWAP, for example, the price was below the VWAP, then the trader bought cheap. If he would buy above VWAP, he would buy too expensive. And then he would not get his bonus. So traders in our company were paid not by profit, but by execution. The decisions we made when we want to buy, enter a stock or whatever product. So we needed a reference point for the traders to judge, are you a good trader or not? So that's a complete different thinking from us retail traders. We are trading here in Bookmap and we want to make a profit. That's our ambition. But in the institutional side, that's not always the case. There is how to get your orders into place without paying too much, or if you want to sell without selling too low. And for this, we have a reference point, the volume weighted average price. You can read some case studies about this from Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy, how they acquired large sums of Bitcoin by using the time volume weighted average price or the volume weighted average price, and how they execute many child fills. Since we have living in the age of computer, online trading and algorithmic trading, there are no human beings sitting here anymore and placing orders on that large size. It's not possible. Michael Saylor, that was already in 2020 or 21, you can check this case study from Coinbase. They executed in one week 200,000 orders. A normal human being cannot do that. At least I don't know anyone like this. So this is why algorithms come into place. And my job, actually the only thing I do in trading, is to detect when algorithms are going to buy and sell. That is my niche in day trading, on the short term and on the long term side. And for me, I always try to tell my community members, if you cannot put your trading strategy in one simple sentence, you're doing something wrong. Yeah? My niche is to figure out when algos are going to buy and sell. So, if you look at this market situation here right now, today, I must say, for me, it's probably a more complicated day. Last week, we had the CME went down on Friday. The data center didn't work. There was no pre-session trading. Then Thanksgiving. And of course, today we have a new start. Yeah. So the last 2 days and also Wednesday, you can basically forget as reference points. For me, the VWAPs that I'm using for day trading, I'm focusing on 3 fixed VWAPs. That is the day VWAP. This is I'm calling this day VWAP. And this one is starting at, we can see here, official, or not official, electronic trading hours. Yeah. Since I'm based in Europe, this is like midnight. If you are based in New York, it is 6 p.m. from the previous day. There I enter my first VWAP with standard deviations. This is basically the reference point during the day. Then always think about we are living in different time zones. When we wake up, then other people going to bed. Yeah, so there are the Tokyo opening, for example, then we have the European or the London opening, then we have the US opening. These are important zones for us traders. Just think about this. You're going to your office in London at, it's 9 a.m. Central European time, and you have to fulfill your orders. You're not doing this during the night, basically. Yeah. Just think very pragmatically. You are working in a bank. You get a lot of orders from normal people who want to buy, sell, or currency transactions. So we can see sort of movement is coming in. And this is, of course, in Europe, London. Yeah. Here we have the London opening at 9 a.m. and we can see the market is moving. And then also during the first half hour, the traders have to see what is a fair value for our transactions. Most of them who are working in the banks are not, believe me, are not that familiar with that sort of trading that we are doing. Or algorithms are doing this. And then this is one of my favorite patterns, market opening. Market is moving into one direction. And I'm calling this black hole here. Yeah. I'm just calling it a black hole because my background is black. I cannot see very good brighter colors. My eyes are not that good. And then we can see the market is doing a retest on the VWAP and we can see a pullback. And this is my business. My business is simply to look for this sort of pattern, retest, buy. And I'm not even going to take all the trend. My reward to risk ratio is basically only 1-to-1. Sometimes I'm getting a little bit more. Just for me, I have a win rate from 75 to 80%. Yeah? So this is how I can make money. I'm sitting like a sniper in front of the computer, waiting for the setup, go in. In the ES, you can see here, I'm taking 10 ticks, take profit, 10 tick stop loss. I'm doing this on 10 or 20 accounts at the same time with 2 or 3 lots depending on volatility, and then my business is done. And then I'm switching off the computer. My trading day basically is not longer than 1 hour or 90 minutes. Then I either reach my profit goal or I already know, no, today is no money to make, and I'm switching off the computer. This has also a couple reasons. This sort of trading that I'm doing, it looks very simple, but just imagine if you are a football player or soccer player in Europe and you play every day a Champions League final, or Champions League game. Your body cannot sustain this energy level. You always need time out. And from all my members in my communities, they learned the lesson, most of them on the hard way. They believe as longer as you sit in front of the computer and you trade, as more money you're going to make. But I can tell you now, after 30 years and hundreds of traders that I have educated and actually who worked for me in my firm, they recognized as less you sit in front of the computer, as more money you make. If you're not invested, you're also not exposed to risk. Very simple rule. As longer you are invested, as more exposed you are to risk, especially in day trading. So just focus on 1 or 2 setups, go in, take your trade, turn the computer off and do something else. You really have to focus on your energy level. You can do this for a short time, that you can keep up with this level and this power that you need as a day trader. But in the long run, and especially if you really have to take care of your family, it really gets tough. So now what we can see here is we have this US session VWAP. For me, it's the color pink. We have VWAPs from the lows, and we have this day VWAP and London VWAP. This is a nice setup here. The VWAP is based on price and volume. Time doesn't matter. We just have an anchor point. Actually a VWAP and VWAP is the same thing. Just anchored VWAP means that we can place a VWAP at any time or any important position for us. Now we can see market is going here to US session VWAP. This is the riskier entry point, but I'm trying to take a long entry here at day VWAP. Let's see if I can get it, if I can get this trade. We have the liquidity here, very important, that is coming up. We have a settlement price, what you see here in the cloud nodes. Settlement prices, I will go into that a little bit later, are also a very important part. Stop loss, take profit is in. Now let's see if we can get the sweep, liquidity coming in, and then I just hope for the pullback of 10 ticks and I'm out. Yeah, now we touched it, I didn't get the trade. This happens many times. We can see pullback is coming, but yeah, I'm unlucky by 1 tick. This happens a lot. I have a certain rule. This is the first test of the VWAP. Yeah, sometimes it goes at VWAP or below, or the market is turning around before. Now we can see the market is turning. I'm unlucky. I would give it a second try here to test this level, but it's already a riskier trade. I want to catch the first touch. The second touch is, reducing my probabilities to win, but I'm still accepting this risk because on the long run it can work. But I would not look for a third touch. Then most likely the market is going below VWAP and buyers don't want it anymore. And still we have the liquidity here. It's not big, but compared to the other levels, it's a little bit more. Might be interesting that we can catch this trade here and go back to US session VWAP, and then the day is done. Let's wait a little bit. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them, but I don't see the questions here right now. I think I'm in the wrong chat. Okay, now I also can see the chat here. Yeah. So let's follow up. You know, I like to explain everything within live tradings. Yeah, I do not believe, I have a lot of recordings, but if you see a real market situation, then you can really get back to it. So there's another thing that I really pay attention to besides VWAPs, and this is called volatility. Volatility index. That is probably the most important measurement for me in trading, and especially how to manage my trades. If we have a volatility index above 20, especially as a day trader, be very careful. The market is becoming very choppy. In my trading community, people are following the normal trading rules, but they figure out, oh, I don't make money and I'm losing. Yeah, I'm telling you, there is something called volatility. If you do not learn to understand what volatility means, you will always get problem. If you know that volatility is above 20, reduce your position size, increase your take profits and your stop loss, for example, or simply stay away from the market. If volatility is at 14, 15, yeah, which we saw a long time, then you can also increase your position size. Let's say instead of 2 lots on a 50K account, you trade 4. It's no problem because the market is slower. And you see a completely different order book. This is what is going to kill most of the traders. Every day, okay, now I got stopped out here, that was it's okay, breakthrough. If you do not put this into consideration, yeah, volatility and your trading strategy, you will always wonder why it is working sometimes and why not. This is what you have to do every day. One of the first things is check volatility. Where are we right now? I mean, you can also see it here at the order book. If we have a very high volatility above 20, the order book becomes very, very thin. And market is chopping around here. Yeah? And then for me, normally it's already the meaning to just stay away. And then these are also the days when you receive a big slippage. That means, for example, my stop loss is 10 ticks, but I get 12, 15 or 18 ticks. Yeah? Now we can see the market just screwed me and now you're going into my trade profit. Yeah, it's like this, but it's only a trade. Yeah. If you have the feeling that this trade or that you're getting stopped out, your risk management is wrong. Just you're having too big position size. So another thing, what I mentioned, these are settlement prices. You can see certain settlement prices here on the right side. We have a date, for example, this was 5th November 25, a settlement price. What is a settlement price? A settlement price is the last or official closing trading price of the day. This is important because banks, for example, they have to make their P&L or funds according to the settlement price. And also every day you get new margin requirements. They are also based on the settlement price. And then banks have to enter more money or they have to put in their form for the year how many winning trading days they had and how many losing trading days they had. And if since they are going with big money into the market, they have to make some accounting. Yeah, and this is according to the settlement price. And then we can see reactions on the settlement price. Similar to the VWAP, something is going to happen there. Yeah? And then we figured out something. The settlement price, don't ask me why, but we run the statistics. The settlement price from every Friday, yeah, we have this one here in pink, is the strongest one. The winning rate on this settlement price is, the best. Don't ask me, maybe they all Friday has a special day and they want to get this. Yeah, you can easily program this on an Excel sheet and then you add this to Cloud Notes and it will be updated every day. Then we have this orange one. This is a settlement price from the last trading day. Yeah. This is also, I mean, probably everyone heard about the gap close trades. These are very nice. If the market, if you could see, we have this pullback, we are going to gap close, yeah, then you have a nice short trade. And these trades, sometimes you really can let them run a little bit longer. But again, this is not my business. My business is simply these small scalping trades. Also for me, psychologically, yeah, or mentally, I hated to let trades run longer than 2 or 3 minutes. It's really causing me a lot of stress. So if I trade stocks on a long run, I don't care. But in day trading, I like my trades in and out, like this here. Yeah. Try to get in, liquidity, basically nice setup, but I'm out. Okay, good. No pain, yeah, no stress. And the same thing is working for all markets. For all markets with a sort of a volume in the NQ, in stocks, gold, crude oil. I personally like the ES. I'm trading this market since 30 years. I started actually trading the SP. That was the mother contract. That was $1,250. Then we got the ES, and now we have a micro, and I don't know what's going to follow after this. So what's the bigger picture here? We had, I mean, it's also, I skipped this part right now, but the big picture, if you look at my chart, is very important. Yeah, all these are high volume nodes, settlement prices that are important for me. But if I skip now to a smaller time frame, the chart looks different. So I'm doing my basic analysis here on the chart to identify support and resistance zones like you do your normal setup. Important for me are ranges, and in ranges or sideways movements, I'm adding a volume profile and I'm extending the high and volume nodes. These are these yellow lines. They are very nice support and resistance zones. And if a VWAP is around this level, I'm even enjoy it more. Then we were talking about the basic VWAPs right now. These are, I will also settings, configure add-ons. I will delete the external ones, and you can also see how it looks like. This is the day VWAP. Yeah. I mean, choose any color that you like. You enter the date and always look at which time zone you are. This is CET, Central European Time. I'm adding the bands. For the day VWAP, same I'm doing for the US session VWAP. It's 3:30 p.m. CET, also the bands. And then I'm using the London VWAP, starting at 9 a.m. CET in green. But I'm not using the bands for that, otherwise it will get too complicated. These are volume weighted average prices. Now we can see the difference. Actually, there is no difference. It's just a different anchor point. We have certain events, or basically we have highs, we have lows, we have news. News are very nice for anchored VWAPs, especially if we have a big movement. We had news today, half an hour ago, but we did not see huge reaction. What we can do now here is to add an anchored VWAP on top. Create anchored VWAP, and we can see how the market is sliding along. It takes always a couple of minutes.
Robert, would you like me to ask questions from myself and others along the way, or?
Yeah, sure. Do this now. Yeah, no. Jump in.
Okay. Okay. Fantastic. Well, there's a few questions here from users, and they're asking, do you trade the news as well?
No, I stay out of news. First of all, the prop firms don't allow it, and it's gambling. I don't have the information of what is going to happen. There are certain strategies that I did before. For example, if we have a huge news event and I will take my buy limit order 20 points below and my sell limit order 20 points above the ES, just with the intention that the market is moving up. I'm not using a stop loss. I just hope that we have the spike, and then normally we have a mail function in the order book That's the order book, skipped many order levels, yeah. And we can see the market is going up and is coming back to the breakout point. This is you can only do this with your private account and if you have enough cash on it, yeah, not with prop firms. What you can do is with news, if we have a news release, after this news release, you enter an anchored VWAP, exactly 2:30 or 8:30 Eastern time, and you look that the market is moving up and is doing a retest on this VWAP. This you can trade. And this you can trade basically during the day. Just the idea behind this, if there is, I mean, I'm talking now about major events and something is happening, there's a surprise. The big pension funds, banks and so on, they cannot immediately put in all their orders in the market. The price would go crazy. So they are waiting that the markets are coming back to this news VWAP and then we can see a reaction. This I'm going to trade. But this is after news release.
Okay. Let's see, there's a question about do you think anchored VWAPs from swing pivots, abnormally high volume events are good or only session based?
No, they are definitely good. And I really recommend to look for these swing highs, swing lows. They are very good. Unfortunately, we cannot always see this on Bookmap. This is why I do my long-term analysis on TradingView. It's simple and fast. And just what we had here, I'm looking for a cleaner chart. You can see this VWAP, for example. Yeah, we have to go on a 4-hour chart. I'm using these swing highs, swing lows. And what we can see here is that was very nice. We have this low. VWAP was here and correction was over. So especially for long-term trading and if you want to trade stocks, it is perfect setup. For me, I bought NVIDIA. I had this long-term VWAP and I bought NVIDIA by $87. We'll add it here. I have to go here. Yeah, this is on the long run. So if you trade stocks, also very, very powerful tool. Just for me, stocks are sometimes, you need too much capital to make your daily money. And sometimes for me it's too slow. So I like to trade futures. And you have the prop firms where I do not need to trade my own money. It's fast. And these areas here, you can see always turning points on the long run. Depends on how you see this in every market. Yeah. Try to identify these important zones. Also, earnings are very nice for stocks. If you have very surprised earning results, enter an anchored VWAP there, and you can see the market will when the market is coming back, you will find a fair value entry price. Here in this case, I bought NVIDIA here. We had this sideways movement that is very important. I simply added an anchored VWAP and I was waiting, waiting. And I got my entry here. And I continued buying around here. And yeah, this is more like, and these things I'm letting run, yeah. This is very important for me. This is also like retirement funds. I'm not intending to sell NVIDIA. In this case, I just want to find reasonable entry prices for the next 5, 6, 7 years. And this is how you identify these things. I mean, in day trading, it's very fast. We can see here, pullback to London VWAP and news VWAP, and we see this pullback. This is very nice.
Are you using other data such as trade data or market by order data along with VWAP?
Well, I'm using Rhythmic, Rhythmic data and DX feed for stocks, but this is the only data that I'm using.
Okay, and but stops and icebergs, etc., from the market by order data.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. This I did a couple videos about this to identify this, but I did not put this here in right now. But I'm using. But iceberg orders in this way, the context is important. One iceberg order doesn't make a big difference, but if we can see many iceberg orders coming up or buy limit iceberg orders here, most likely these sellers are exhausted. or buyers want to get in. I mean, we don't know if these are sellers or people or buyers or people who want to cover their short positions. Yeah, I mean, they're both buyers, but we don't know their intention. And then we can see if we have an exhausted market or not over the next 60 minutes roundabout. And then we can see a move to the other side.
Okay. And then another question here, I'm sorry, from Rush. You're using 6 p.m. for New York for the anchored VWAP from settlement, and then European Central or London. Do you use one for Asia as well?
No, I don't use one for Asia. That would be some. I mean, you have to see after a while these VWAPs will all come together. This is for the pre-session important, yeah. But once the real volume is coming into the market, and this is US opening, then you can see all VWAPs slowly coming together. Since the calculation is based on price and volume, and as more volume is coming in, as more they're coming together. And mostly at the end of the trading day, all these VWAPs are at the same level.
Yeah. So I have, these are some of the questions from others, and please, everyone, get your questions in. But I have a ton of questions. I really don't want to take up too much of your time, but
don't mind. It's okay.
Can you talk about the time of day as well? You said like an hour and a half, for the energy that you have for your concentration and focus. But the time of day is really going to matter, I would imagine as well.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I'm living in Germany, but I'm living according to United States, to New York time. I wake up maybe 1 p.m. CET, yeah. Everyone is laughing about me because I go to bed at 3 a.m. in the morning, but also it's my characteristics. I am more like the night human being, yeah. If I wake up 9 a.m. here in Germany and I would start to trade, it doesn't make any sense. And then when the good time comes to make money, I'm tired and exhausted. And for me, the best time is market opening, or sometimes also the second half of the US day. But I'm focusing on 3 p.m. CET or 9 a.m. Eastern time. Then I'm turning on my computer. And believe me, I do not turn on my computer before. And I start with my community, my preparation for the day. It takes maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Then we are through all the things, checking news, checking volatility, adding the new VWAPs. And then I'm looking if I can get a pre-market trade. That would be nice. And if I even get a pre-market trade, the day is over. Then I will stop. We still have some small talk, but I'm not going to trade anymore. This is many times the case. For example, look for your trade, where are the big moves? For me, the big moves starting just before US market opening. There I can get a nice chance. And this is, once I get my chance, I'm turning off the computer, because many times I went into the trap myself. You have one good trade, you are happy. It just happened to me, I think, last Wednesday. Then I did, okay, you can get a little bit more out of the market. And I lost. And then the next losing trade, yeah. And then you're stuck there at the end with a loss. And then you get very angry, emotional, not because of the money, but because of your own stupidity. And that greed take over you. And this I really try to minimize as much as I can, because it really costs you a lot of lifespan. Yeah. After many years, you will see it's not that easy anymore. At the beginning, you feel excited. Yeah, I want to trade. I want to do 20, 50 trades a day. Maybe there are some people who can do that. But over the long run, I never met anyone, at least who's still alive and still trading, still in the market. They all disappear after a while. One of my business partners, he is managing over 90,000. He's coming from the brokerage side. He's managing over 90,000 customer accounts. And he said, not even 1% are making money. At least not over the long run. There are a lot who are very successful for a couple of months, and then the fuck up day is coming, and I believe every one of you knows this fuck up day, and accounts are gone. But the traders who spend less,
I'm well aware of it. And I'm sure others as well work so hard, and then one day it takes you out.
completely wipes you out.
I'm sorry, Robert. I interrupted you.
No problem. This day is wiping you out. Yeah, it is. It's like that. I cannot exclude myself from that. It also happens to me, but it's reducing and getting less, and I have my own protection mode, and that is simply stay away from the computer. We have one community member here, Rezo. I think I also saw him. He has like the cold turkey application. When he reaches his goal, he's clicking the button. He cannot open any trading programs anymore. It's a good solution, at least for the next 24 hours. It works for him. Since that day, he's getting payouts.
Yeah, as long as it works. I'm wondering, like, let's say just an average day trading the way that you trade. How many trades per day are you taking, would you say, on average?
1, 2, 3, 1, 2 or 3 maximum. And I'm very seldom more. Mostly actually only one trade as a scalper. And then if I reach my profit goal, I'm out.
Then the trade management is all in and all out.
Yes. In this case, I have my take profits, I have my stop loss. This is fixed. Depending on volatility, I'm adjusting this to where the wicks is right now. If we're above 20, 25, maybe I need a bigger stop loss, bigger take profit, and smaller position size. This is determining my position management. I did before, like I take out, let's say I go in with 3 lots. I take out one after 10 ticks, the other after 15, the third one after 20. But at the end, I did not make more money, because when I lost my full risk. But many times the market went 10 ticks in my direction. I took my profit with 1 lot, but then I got stopped out break even. Didn't give me any advantage. Actually, my winning rate is the best when I'm using this ratio. Maybe you can also use 12 or 13 ticks. That depends on volatility. But with this ratio, I'm feeling comfortable, and I know very quickly my results.
Right. And then, so for the day trading and futures, you're using the NQ and the ES mostly?
Actually, the ES is my favorite market, but to get accounts funded, we are also using the NQ. Also, one of our community members, he has this crazy strategy. Go in with 10 ticks and 61 ticks take profit, and you are funded. Very simple. Or you blow your account. And once, a very simple strategy, and it works. Last week I funded 7 accounts in a row. And I probably needed like 12 accounts, but at least you're funded. And then I'm going to start to trade CES, because this is my favorite market, and I'm having a daily profit goal. I'm only trading 50K accounts of like $250 to $300. Sometimes I'm getting a little bit more, but in the end, I do not want to beat it or to do it too fast. I take my time, I don't have to get my payout immediately. I want to trade safe. I want to get my payout, at least from each account, and then I'm already break even. And then I can build up my accounts and getting regularly payouts.
I see. And you're placing the limit order before the fill.
Yes, exactly. I'm always trading limit. Since I I want to get my price levels here. We can also try it again. If I go in market, then I'm losing already 1 or 2 ticks because of the slippage. And that is already like 20% of my profit goal. So now I'm patiently waiting for my chance, and then I'm adjusting my VWAPs here, slowly, and sometimes over 1 hour, I'm just moving my buy limit orders along the VWAP. And then sometimes it takes an hour until I get my trade, but then it's done.
And I'm a little curious. So you have VWAP there that it just touched on the upper side, the green one.
Yeah.
And then you have your yellow one down below, which touched many times.
Yeah.
How would you take trades off of? Would you take the one off the green?
Okay, now I would prioritize, which are the most important VWAPs. This is the day VWAP, Then we have the US session VWAP and London VWAP. They have the biggest importance for me. This one, the anchored VWAP from the high, this is nice for swing trades. And I'm still aware the market is always touching this VWAP, so we are still in this downtrend. Once we're getting above this VWAP, I see a change of direction because we are simply breaking the highs, going above VWAP, and most likely algorithms are going to push. So for me, it's a change. Then I would enter an anchored VWAP here at the low, this one, and try to ride on that wave here. We also have to say now, if we look at the time, right now at this time, it's not typically for breakouts. It's more like that we are moving for another hour inside the range. We can see here, we have the highs, we have the lows. Then you play the range game. If you see a range, or if you estimate a range, sell the high, buy the low, as long as you can. Maybe you can do this 2-3 times, and the fourth time you're getting stopped out. But anyway, with a reward to risk ratio from 1 to 1, you already make money. So this is also back to the question of time. Now it's not breakout time. Maybe now it's lunchtime or almost.
I was curious about that. That was my next question was, would you draw it off of that bottom low?
Yes.
And you would, an anchored VWAP.
Yeah, okay. And you can also see here, the market is now coming closer together. We have the low, retest, 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 and now let's see if we really have a breakout here. So in this case, I don't know, so this is why I enter. I call this handoff VWAP. We have now a new direction. I'm adding a VWAP here, and now I could try to move my entry point alongside this VWAP. Now, because we see buyers are coming in, but to go long here doesn't make sense for me. Where should I go long? So I just try to catch a pullback. And a valid pullback point for me is simply here. We have the breakout. The breakout basically starts for me at day VWAP, and I'm adding an anchored VWAP here. Now I simply be patient. I let the market run. It's very nice. This is algorithmic buying. We are moving up like a line, and I have to be patient. And if I don't get a chance to get in, then it's like that. On the other side, I will look.
Then, I'm sorry. So another thing, I think from your online course on the Bookmap Learning Center, you'd mentioned if it is a sideways market, you will look at fade trades off of the standard deviations of the VWAP.
Correct. And important for me is if the VWAP's moving sideways, then we have the standard deviations to trade the range. So normally valid trade would be to go long here somewhere at the standard deviations and short here. But right now the market doesn't want. No, it would be a losing trade. Now what is important is the market really going to, if I say it differently, are the VWAPs moving to the upside? And the standard deviations, are they having a spread? We can see they're moving a little bit higher on the downside, moving a little bit lower. It means volatility is coming into the market. What we can see here, this is simply algorithmic buying. Don't ask me why, but the market was trading in that range, and now somebody really wants to get into into the market no matter what. And this is why I have to look at the bigger time frame. Oil stocks also is also important. What are the stocks doing? Nvidia is going up again. Gap close, back to VWAP. ES coming back. So the next interesting levels are the highs at 844. Standard deviation here at 45. But it's a typical market. If you look here, it's a 3-minute chart, sell off and back to sender.
Nice.
And this is not done by human beings, definitely not. And we can see liquidity still pushing the market. And, well, the next nice trade would be simply gap close, yeah? Maybe the market really wants to see this one here, 59. These trades do not happen often, but if you have the chance to get a nice gap close, you have a very, very good trading opportunity. So, and you see here in this case, I'm simply waiting to get a retest. VWAP's moving up.
Do you use volume profile? So it looks like you do maybe with the trading view.
Yes.
Chart that you have.
I'm using volume profile in trading view, but in the end you can say volume profile is a static tool. The VWAPs also are based on volume and price, but they are moving with volume and price. So for me, it's more like an interactive volume profile. Many times you can see that the point of control is similar to the VWAP. I mean, the calculation is not exactly the same, but both benchmarks are based on volume and price. If you look here on the chart, of course, I can see all my high volume nodes. Yeah, they're working quite well. Point of controls, everything fine. But for my short-term trading, VWAP is more interactive.
And just if I can, there's some other questions in here about prop firms, but I don't think, you know, I would prefer not to talk about different prop firms and who's better or whatever. But the reason, getting behind the reasoning why you're using the prop firms, Robert, I think is fantastic.
Yeah.
And if you want to maybe go over that one again, and also to maybe review the institutional part, why you're using VWAP, and then why are you using VWAP along with this prop service to take advantage of for your trading.
Yeah, of course. When I started trading 30 years ago, I inherited a small amount of money from my father. He passed away very early. And then I started trading. But soon you figure out if you use your own money, let's say you have living expenses from $100,000 a year and you have family, everything. And now you want to become a day trader. So you need capital. If you have $100,000 in cash to day trade, then you must double your money every year to be break even after tax. I mean, it's even Warren Buffett did not do that. So I think your opportunity is not very high that you are going to survive. Then let's say the first month you're going to lose $10,000 and you also have living expenses of $8,000. So you're already down $18,000. Believe me, what's going on with you when you know you have wife, children, everything at home. So you're risking a lot to actually run a business where you compete against the smartest people, and believe me, people with no mercy on this planet. They only want one thing, your money. And they have a completely different infrastructure than any one of us has. I mean, you do not want to compete with BlackRock. BlackRock has more money than the German and French government together, yeah. So how can you compete? Impossible. So you have to find your niche. Most of the time I traded my own capital. Or why did I go into the fund business? Because I simply had access to more capital and I did not need to worry about my private life, about my employees, and I could simply use leverage. Yeah, leverage in case of I did not have $150 million at that time. Yeah, but I got access and through my own fund to that money to trade, and then I got my percentage and profit share from that, so I could have a very good living. Gave me access to many Ferraris and all these very nice things that, yeah, I don't need anymore, but which I already owned. And now, if I would have the chance to get into that prop firm business like 30 years ago, I would be amazing opportunity. Now everyone can make a living day trading without having a lot of capital. Yeah. So you just invest in your evaluation fees, software, so you have the groundwork for your business, and you have the opportunity, if you really are able to trade, to get access to capital to get payouts. So I think it's somehow the democratization of trading. Whatever market you want to trade, there are prop firms in that area. And if you follow their rules, and these rules are really reasonable most of the time, yeah, I did not find any prop firm where I would say this is not reasonable. I mean, I was a fund manager and I know how to manage my traders. There's nothing worse if you have surprises a day. So this is why they want to have consistency with you in trading. This is why they can make money with you, and also how they can participate with you together. But if you're a trader, today you make $10,000 and tomorrow you lose $5,000. You're not reliable, so you're just a gambler. And if you understand that trading is a business and you simply do every day the same thing, so they're happy and you are happy. And you get access to a lot of capital. Yeah? And then you can make your 10K or 20K a month. I will not say easily, that's maybe, it's not that easy, but at least you have a chance to be part of that game. And you can still run your 9-to-5 job if you want, or your business. So this is what I think is a very huge opportunity for people who do not have access to a lot of capital. Same like me, I could never make a living in young years if I would not have access to that hedge fund and to my firm in Frankfurt. You're simply using a lot more capital to make a lot more money where you only get maybe 1%, but this 1% is very nice. Except if you have to risk your own money and you're going to lose and you do not have the backup and you get stress at home. Believe me, I can also talk a lot about this, and you really, if you're under pressure to make money from trading and there are periods where you're simply not making a lot of money, simply a dry season, you get pressure. And then you come into this negative cycle. So this is about why I am using prop firms and why I am, be very honest with you, it's one of the best things that ever happened to me, yeah, and to many of the traders. I saw so many traders who blown up their personal accounts, and yeah, it was not nice. And then back to my institutional trading. I educated many traders. The best trader that I had was a little girl from China. She studied in England, tricks, and she was trading the Hang Seng Index for me. She was an analyst, actually was translating Chinese stock market information to English. I had the largest Chinese website for news. This was also a problem for the government. It called Finance China. Yeah, and one day she came to me and said, "Hey Robert, I want to become a trader." I said, "Okay, how much do you know about trading?" She said, "Nothing." I said, "Perfect, I like that. So you are like a blank sheet of paper in your mind and I can tell you exactly what you should do." And she did that. And she was trading the Hang Seng Index future, just the opening, like crazy. When she placed an order, we moved the market at that time by 50 or 100 points. And she made a lot of money for the firm, for us. Yeah? So that was very nice. But then I also learned a lot from her and other traders that I had. There were people who knew, actually males, yeah? They believed they knew how to trade. And they said, "Hey Robert, why are you only giving me 5,000 euros to trade? I said, because they're going to fuck up, I know your personality. And then they became angry. They were trading good for 2-3 months. They followed the rules, and then the perfect fuck up day came and they started to cry in my office and they said, Robert, you're right, I lost 50% of your money. I said, yeah, okay, but it's only 2,500, so at least I can, or the company can survive this, yeah. So this is how I tried to manage these people. And then there is something, we really have to admit this. I was on the World of Trading, Germany's biggest trader conference 2 weeks ago. And I did live trading in front of these people. And there were also some questions, especially about characteristics. And I told them, every one of you and everyone who's here and listening right now, we are gamblers. Yeah? We are here because we want to make the quick money. We think it's an easy job. We can work from all over the world. This is what the media is telling you and giving you into your head, which is also true. I would say trading is the best job for me. I also cannot do much more. All this is true, but until you reach this level, it's not easy. But one secret is maybe to avoid fuck-up days is simply, first, admit you are a gambler. Second, find a game that is basically taking out this desire for gambling. Why can I only sit 1 hour in front of the computer and then I'm already tired? Because I know I'm going to my favorite pub and we are playing the dice. Yeah, if I really have a fuck-up day in that pub, yeah, I may be losing 100 euros or $100. So absolutely fine, doesn't kill me. But it takes out the desire. With my traders in China, we had our offices in Shenzhen and Hong Kong. We went regularly to Macau. Macau is something like the Vegas of Asia. And every quarter we went there and I gave them money and I told them, go and lose that money. So once they did that, their task was to lose that money. And then they got rid of that desire and they became very stable in trading because they did not have this desire anymore. And it saved me a lot of money. Yeah? So find out what is to compensate for this emotion inside of you, to do something else, to get rid of it, maybe card games. I mean, don't go to Las Vegas and play poker now, yeah? On the big table. It could also be expensive. Just something simple, cheap, yeah? And you will see this feeling is gone. It does not take much to get rid of these emotions. So, and I am now also in here in probably the last trade, and most likely it's going to kick me out now. Anyway, yeah, I'm out. And the journey is going back to sender. Again, yeah, these are the markets most likely back to 826, back to VWAP. Yeah, any more questions?
Let me take a quick look through. Okay, yeah. So, yep, Alex is saying Bookmap and TradingView, great combo. And that I think we're all caught up over on YouTube. Let's see over here in Discord.
Can I post my link?
Yeah,
Oh,
so people are asking how to join your trading group and also from the institutional side.
Yep, just we have our trading community here. You can join this one on English. It costs $49 a month still, and you find a lot of content here. Live trading sessions. You get also an English version about my book, Uncut, yeah. That is a lot of fun. How I'm trading prop firms. Basic structure of my trading, yeah. So you get a deep dive into what I'm doing. And if you really want to use a day trade with us together, every day we are live in our LIT day trading community. Also Laura is, you know Laura, yeah, she's a moderator here, funded in 0.001 seconds. That was Rezo, also new record. This is daily trading starting at 9 a.m. Eastern Time.
Okay, great. So yeah, you've got the reference here. Anything else, Robert?
No, I think that's for the English group, that's the most important thing. Or you go to also all other information on Linktree. Yeah? I think this is, you'll find all my German and English communities here.
Okay, great. All right, you've got it there. I'll put it over in YouTube as well. Just a minute. Okay. Also, everybody, don't forget on the Bookmap Learning Center,
Yes.
Robert has his course.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of great information on there, and that will also probably lead you to more information about some of his
Foundations,
courses and opportunities. And one more thing, don't forget about the Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and add-ons deals that we have going on. You can just go to bookmap.com. If you guys are interested in trying Bookmap, this is the time to do it.
Exactly.
Getting one of these deals, you get it for 3 months or 1 month, or add-ons that you're interested in, you've been wanting to try, you get 50% off. Okay, so some great deals going on at the moment. Let's see, I think we're all caught up on questions, Roberts. Is there anything else you want to cover?
From my side, I think watch the lessons on Bookmap Learning Center, or get in touch with me personally, either on Discord. Otherwise, Wednesdays, 7 p.m. CET is German Bookmap live stream, and Thursdays, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, English live stream. Yeah, and just try it out. Just use the VWAP add-on in Bookmap and look again here how nicely it works. We went to US session VWAP. Now we touched the VWAP again, and yeah, I was unlucky today 2 times, but okay, that's it. Normally you can really see that the market is touching these levels precisely. And if you have some patience, you have a foundation to make consistent money, either with prop firms or with their private accounts.
Excellent. Okay, so I think we've got everything, Robert.
Yeah.
And let's see, when is your next stream on Bookmap?
English
on our
Thursday.
Discord channel?
This
On
Thursday, yeah. Thursday, 9
Okay.
a.m. Eastern Time.
Okay, anyone who's interested in that, again, that is found on the Bookmap Learning Center, bookmap.com, click on the education link, and you'll go to the Learning Center there.
Okay, thank you also. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Dan, and everyone who joined this session. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Robert.
Okay.
Really, really great information.
Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.